Welcome to Bad Gear, the show about the world's most hated audio tools. Grooveboxes, conceived by Roland and designed to take away the power of producing electronic music from real studio owners to teenagers with enough time to spare to deal with the atrocious UI. Today we are going to talk about the Electribe ER-1. Korg unveiled this 2001 machine somewhere between the second and third wave of groovebox releases and dumped the overwhelming collection of corny dance cliches in favor of a much more primitive contraption even gibbons with a history of substance abuse can handle. At the first glance, the ER-1 is ticking all the "I really need to get the green one too" boxes. Classic first-gen Electribe design with plenty of hands-on controls. Non-velocity sensitive yet inviting rubber buttons, which double as a chromatic keyboard, and countless presets showcasing late 90s dance music genres. In varying degrees of datedness. 8 drum voices, with 2 choke groups and 2 monophonic synth-like engines, are based on 194 short and crunchy samples, 144 of them reserved for percussive sounds, leaving only 50 of them for tonal duties. In contrast to its other sample-based sibling, the ES1, these raw waveforms can't be changed. You can, however, apply a simple AD envelope to the drums and change them in pitch. The 2 synth voices allow for slightly more advanced sound shaping, letting you apply the aforementioned envelope to a very digital sounding filter that comes with a similarly digital drive stage. Every voice can be routed to an FX section independently, which offers algorithms in varying quality ranging from a snappy compressor to one of the worst reverbs known to humankind. There is also a master delay FX optimized for live performance. Speaking of, both the internal sound and external gear can be triggered using the 64-step sequencer with dedicated modes for drums and synths. Although you wouldn't expect the finesse of modern-day grooveboxes, programming patterns is intuitive and additional features like roll, transposition and the 2 independent accent tracks are a nice touch. The ER-1 was among the first Korg devices to offer motion recording. As soon as you try to incorporate the instrument in a live jam, you will run into limitations. Part mutes are plagued by acute amnesia as soon as you employ basic operations like play or pattern change, and the internal clock is all over the place. Some might call that groovy. The machine comes with abysmal MIDI implementation, somewhat usable pattern management, essential functionality like pattern write is only accessible when the sequencer is not playing. I'm once again asking today's gear manufacturers to implement full-sized MIDI trios like this one. Unlike its siblings, the ER-1 doesn't have audio ins and the primitive menu structure is more or less self-explanatory. You might be able to find one of these on the used market for around $200. In the convoluted groovebox ecosystem of the early noughties, the simplicity of the ER-1 was a breath of fresh air. Is it more than a toy when compared to contemporary machines? You have already heard the Electribe in today's intro tune. I wanna know if we can find a better home for these one-dimensional and plasticky sounds in the first jam. That was more fun than expected. Messed up mix balance and digital artifacts aside, the sequencer has a very distinct feel to it that fits retro beats and rubbery synth lines nicely. The, let's call it, human touch of Electribe sequencers is a thing of legends. Let's crank up the swing factor and add its more famous drum synth sibling to the equation. Pretty sure I've heard some of these sounds on old school dance records. Although I like the versatile synth engines of its sibling, the EM1 samples add a beefy flavor to the mix. Today's jams were even more raw sounding than usual. Time to polish some of the machine's patterns and samples in this dark and gloomy yet efficient 90s reimagining and high protein dance floor fodder. The Electribe EM-1 is neither a great live performance tool nor convenient studio instrument. Given the countless UI quirks, limited feature set and small pool of dated lo-fi sounds, there are plenty of more powerful alternatives on the market. It is, however, one of the most fun pieces of gear I've had on the show for a while. The workflow is straightforward, and in spite of the primitive sound design facilities, it is easy to turn the corny samples into inspiring track starters and prominent elements of a modern arrangement. It is very easy to dismiss the EM1 as a toy, but given the latest additions to Korg's drum machine and groovebox portfolio, a little bit of light-hearted old-school Electribe flavor might have been the better choice. Thanks for watching and see you next time! Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Feel free to like, subscribe, become a patron and leave a comment what other kind of gear you would like to see and hear on the show.